over the drain. There wasn't debris on them. I could see the metal drain. There's water above it. The rain gauge at the shop said we had 4¼ inches. I talked to another guy, said he had 5 inches. Anytime you get rain like that, it's going to build up. The rain can only take so much. Once the ditch gets full, the box gets full, the pipe gets full, got to sit there until it can leak.
No major problems?
It drained in a reasonable amount of time too, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I did see somebody, I think, maybe flooded out on Kent Street. But a lot of this could be avoided if people will just slow down. I've seen them get Jackson and St. Francis down here, and I'm standing out in the street from my house, and I can't tell you what the car was, because I just see this big wave. Well, I've been telling her a few times, trying to clean the drain, when I see this big wave, and there's nowhere to go. But
Well, I think our system is starting to work and working well.
I mean, it's better, and it'll get better, the more we do, the better
We
it'll
got
get.
a few more years on this and we'll be in good shape.
I was in a pipe here recently, climbed up a pipe just to see what was going on there. A hole about the size of your fist. That's just the areas we need to line them before that road caves in, before it gets a lot worse. Anything else? Thank you.
Industrial?
Nothing for the public at this time.
Senior citizens?
We had a meeting last Thursday on the 29th. We discussed the expenses for building expenses and maintenance, upkeep, and we're requesting $35,000 for the building expenses to include utilities and maintenance and upkeep. We talked about the purchase of a van because the van we've got is on its last leg for sure. I'm working on getting quotes through a couple different dealerships to see if we can possibly get a van and what the prices would be. Mr. Carter had discussed to get some bids on the new units, purchase two new 10-ton units. Other than that, we also talked about the possibility of getting a generator, and they got the cameras installed. So.
Okay. All right. Hospital?
On the way in, I talked to, I guess we'll call it Plan B, and still looking at, once we get a determination from the current group, it doesn't look like to me they've done anything at the hospital. But I'm going to contact them and see what they have to say in their defense, but I'm continuing my conversation with Plan B and see how we do with that.
Okay. All right. Oh.
On the motion for the $35,000 to the senior citizen.
Is that a part of the disbursement that you're getting already, or is that in addition to?
No,
We haven't given anything yet.
So we haven't made any disbursements yet?
I thought that was
To
not
do
that.
that.
No, it's not an automatic.
Okay.
No. Well, let's get a breakdown of what you want to use that money for before we approve.
That's coming out of the stormwater / senior citizen.
Understand.
Okay.
We still need to have a list of what it's going to be spent on.
I'll have that by the next meeting.
Okay.
All right. I don't have anything under unfinished business. Unless somebody has something, then we go with new business. I don't know if I'm calling it right. Yep, frisbee disc golf.
That's right.
You call it something else. But
Just disc golf. That's
Just disc
That's fine.
okay.
Hello, council. We had a projector. That's not going to work out, so we're just going to wing it and
Okay.
be as brief as possible. But I guess first question is, how many of y'all have heard of disc golf? Are you familiar with what disc golf is at all?
Will you introduce yourself first?
For sure. I'm Jason Garner. I graduated Kennett High School in 2006. Dustin Lancaster, Kennett High School graduate 2005. We've started several businesses together in the last 5 years, one of which is Discology Disc Golf, the disc golf company. So one of the things that we wanted to do was give back to our community and propose putting a disc golf course in Kennett here at Jones Park. What you're looking at is we've already kind of mapped out a course. We've taken the time to kind of map that out. Again, that's not set in stone at all, but that's just an idea. Disc golf is played just like ball golf. Same rule set. You have a par 4, par 5, but instead of a ball, you throw a frisbee. So I wanted to hand a couple of these out if you've never held one. That's what the frisbee is. So you have a putter, a mid-range, and a driver, just like as in golf. The good thing about disc golf is it can be as recreational or as competitive as you want. COVID has made disc golf explode. It's the number one between that and pickleball. It's the number one or number two fastest growing sport in the world. In 2019, there's an app called UDisc. There were 4 million rounds played, which is you track your rounds. And this 2021, there's almost 18 million. So there's in 2 years a tremendous amount of growth. I think that I'm going to kind of go through some of these slides. I wanted to break down real quick what consists of a disc golf hole. So just as in ball golf, you have a tee box. So part of the expense that would be called that you would need in order to install a disc golf course is, and if anybody wants to see, so you have a concrete tee pad. Essentially, it's 5 by 8, and that's your tee box. You have signage, and then you have a basket. That's the 3 components that you need to build a disc golf course and a disc golf hole. The signage looks similar to this. It shows the build of the hole. It shows the distance, things like that. All the information about each hole in particular. The baskets, we do have we can get them for wholesale cost. So they're usually $500. We can get them for $425 per basket. 30-year warranty, galvanized stainless steel chains. You put a sleeve in the ground and then lock the basket to the sleeve in concrete, so you can't go anywhere. I think the positives I just want to talk about. One is it's an opportunity to bring people to Kennett that would never come here otherwise. It is a very, very popular sport, and I can almost guarantee that people that would never come to Kennett would come here to play disc golf, which will lead them to spend money, which would lead to a lot of positive growth potentially. So I think that's a big consideration, is what is the city potentially doing to bring new people here that would otherwise not come. I think that would be one of the best options, putting a disc golf course in. It's an excellent way to get exercise, excellent way to get outside, get sunlight. It's very inexpensive. You can pay $10, $15 for one of these and you can go play. That's all you need. It can be as expensive or inexpensive as you want it to be. Extremely low maintenance. Once the course is installed, it's pretty much business as usual as far as maintenance. Great way to meet new people, and also for a lot of youth, it's a good new athletic endeavor. If kids don't have an athletic endeavor, it would give them an option. Kids that are athletes, it could give them something to do off season. It's just pretty much anybody can play, regardless of skill level. And it can also give kids a pursuit of skill that otherwise they may not have. The course layouts here, which you have in the print off, and I do have each individual hole that we were going to use on a slideshow. The disc golf tee pad, and this is all discretionary in how the resources the city has. We budget about $100 per tee box for the concrete, based on who knows who or who has the connections with the city. That could be cheaper. It's just a 5 by 8 concrete pad. The signage, again, kind of discretionary. We budgeted $30 to $50 per hole for the signage, nice outdoor signage. And then you'll have a course map sign. So you'll pull up to the course, you'll see a big course map. So the whole course will be laid out, so the player will know the direction of the course. And for a 9-hole course, which is what Jones Park would be, it's approximately $5,725 is about what the budget would be. Now that is approximately, like I said, based on concrete costs, based on the baskets that are set. That's $425 per hole, and then the signage based on the different type of signage you use for the tee box, based on if the city has resources for concrete or if the city employees would install them, whatever. That's where there's kind of some leeway there with those inputs. But again, wanted to go get to the benefits again. I guess the main question is what things are being discussed that are going to bring people to Kennett that otherwise would not come. We think disc golf would be a great option. Jones Park is a beautiful setup for it. It's absolutely perfect, and I believe installing a disc golf course would make Jones Park used to its full potential. It's a huge park that has plenty of space. We've taken the time to map it out. We truly think that it would be an amazing course that people would really want to come play. So that's it.
Talk to the parks department.
No, sir, this is our first stop, I guess, in the.
Who's gonna maintain?
The maintenance would be pretty much, as far as maintenance, it would be exactly how it's being maintained now. Essentially, you just have to weed eat around the tee boxes. And then, as far as the structure of the park, it remains the same.
Okay. Will there be a cost if somebody wants to come and play?
For the city, no, you can do things for tournaments. Doing tournaments is a very common thing. Leagues is a very common thing. In Jonesboro, and when it gets warm outside, they have leagues on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So those are the two main opportunities for any income, but also that's up to your discretion. In Jonesboro, they have courses at Craighead Forest. They're just free to play, but mainly it's just a place for people to gather, have something to do, and then build communities and churches and all type of people gather out there.
And can you give me that cost again that you said?
57.25 was, and we did the same presentation where we live in Lake City, Arkansas, and we're moving forward with that project as well. So that's the two, our hometown, Kennett, and then Lake City where we currently live. We wanted to offer just this as an option for the young people, old people, everybody to do. And of all the millions of players that have started playing because of COVID, because that really made it blow up, because that was the best option to get outside. They estimate about 98% of them have stayed. So that's what has just made the sport grow. So it would be a good option.
Lake City's done is that they've contacted businesses around the community, and I think, what is it, $500 per hole will get a sponsorship on the signage. So that's an option if there was a issue with the budget on it.
They set it up with a 3-year sponsorship for $500 for the tee box and for the basket, which is that's not a bad deal. So that is an option as well.
And what size did you say the concrete pad was?
5 by 8.
5 by 8.
5 by 8. Lake City's have just paying for the concrete and gonna have the city install it.
One of the things I did want to add as well, I'm sorry, I was thinking about this. Two of the holes already have tee boxes, so we would only need 7. Hole 8